Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to Rugby AM. We are here. It's Challenge Cup week and it's really exciting because for me, it is the pinnacle of the sport. So it is the big day out, going down to Wembley, and I'm with a man who's had a fair few battles in the Challenge Cup, Scott Morrell, Halifax skipper. You're out for revenge tonight.
Obviously we're disappointed after that first game of the season against Featherstone. They tipped us in last 2 minutes. I think Briggsy scored a try. So we're good about that, and we'll hopefully put it right tonight.
Mate, I was at that game. It was an absolutely rip-roaring game. Everyone got stuck in, and it really set the tone for the championship this year, because I think this is the most competitive championship for a few years. Okay, I look a little bit out in front, but everyone else can beat anybody else.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this competition, that everybody can beat anybody else. People underestimate it when they come down. I didn't think Ulker realised how tough it actually was when they come down, and I think they've got respect for the championship now.
Mate, there's nothing makes me laugh. You know when you've had a bad day at work, going on your Instagram and seeing the faces of Scott Morrell. Over the years, you've had some absolute pearlers, mate. Is it just your face? Is it just in contact? What is it?
I'm not sure really.
Special faces.
I still think I'm a 10 out of 10, but judging by them pictures, I think I'm a 2 at the moment.
Mate, you've had a great career, haven't you? Have you enjoyed? Where's been your happy place in your career?
Obviously, Ulker, I enjoyed it there. I had 7 good years, but also Halifax, they've took to me like Ulker fans have, and I'm just really enjoy playing my rugby, to be honest, Simone. Looking forward to a good end to the season.
Mate, I've seen your testimonial shirt and I think it's outstanding. A really good mixture of Halifax and Hull KR. What are you excited about for the testimonial? Talk to me through how people get involved, your up and coming events, and what it means to you to have such a great testimonial year.
Obviously, our over at Moment Rugby League give me a testimonial for over 300 appearances and services to the game. My brother's actually designed my testimonial shirt, so that means a lot for my brother to do that. Then we sent it to Gazmore, and he obviously made a little
good people.
Meet good people. I'm telling you now. Launch day is on the June the 2nd, 7:30 at the Shea Stadium.
Yep.
It's £200 a table. We've only got 4 tables left, so if you're looking to get one, get in there quick. And the second one after that is we've got Cricket Day. Halifax 11, the Blackley Cricket Club in Halifax. That's on Bank Holiday Sunday, end of July, I think.
Can I play?
You can play if you want to play.
I'll
Simo.
play.
You can play.
No, 110%. I'll get the old.
What name do you want on back of your shirt?
Simmons, mate.
No, Simmons.
Scott Simmons. Or Big Cat.
Big Cat.
Big Cat or Simmons. Simo. Whatever you want to call me, you can do it. When's the game? Talk to me about the game.
We did talk with a couple of clubs, and hopefully it will be okay. But it's not set in stone yet. But it'll be next pre-season.
Mate, absolutely outstanding. Massive respect for everything you achieved. Lastly, mate, Halifax and Wembley, hand in hand, some great memories for the club. What would it mean, not only to get through this round, but to draw a big boy at home at the Shea? Leeds at home, let's get stuck into them.
Obviously it'd be nice to get a big team, but we've got a big club to beat tonight.
Yeah.
It's got Featherstone to play first, and hopefully if we do that, we'll have look for a big team in the next round.
10,000 at the Shea?
Yeah,
I'll be there, mate. Top man. Cheers, Scotty.
Cheers,
mate. Griff, it's a Challenge Cup game. It's a different kettle of fish to a normal league match. You had the number early on in the year. How are you preparing for tonight's game?
Oh, we've had a pretty decent run ourselves the last few weeks. We're in pretty good form. To us, it's another game, and we've got to perform tonight against a strong Halifax team.
Challenge Cup's always a different kettle of fish, but it means a lot to get through the next round and maybe draw one of the bigger boys.
Yeah, it'd be huge for the club financially. David loved that, and Mark and the rest of the team. We'd all enjoy that. For us going forward, it'd be brilliant.
Last year, obviously, playing Middle Eights is a real target, and it looks like it could be odds on because you're performing and you're up there. Is that the finish Isaac Kenny looking first, second spot in league and then competitive Middle Eights?
Yeah, we've not sort of put a spot on where we want to finish. We just want to do well each week, and we know that'll the league position there and take care of itself. And Challenge Cup's a massive goal. The idea was to get further than we did last year, and we've done that. And hopefully the next round, like you say, we'll get one of the big teams down here, and that'll be great for the club and a great challenge for the lads.
Dual Reg is one of them contentious issues in the sport. Featherstone use it really well with Leeds. You've been a Leeds player yourself. How do you find having some of them young guys and sometimes some of the older war horses coming down and laking with you down at Fev?
They always come in and they're brilliant. The lads, some of them might, you think they come down with a bad attitude or, whatever, but they're brilliant. Every time they come down, they perform for us and they always give 110%, and that's all we can ask for them. And, it gives great competition for our lads. It keeps our lads on our toes as well when they come in. And like I say, it's just great for the club and it's a great link up with Leeds. They've always produced great players.
Top man.
Cheers, man.
Rich, you're in a fine run of form, 6 on the bounce, and you come here in the cup looking for a bit of revenge after they just pipped you at the Shea early on in the season.
Yeah, we had a good performance that day. It sort of kick-started our season. There was never anything more than a couple of tries in it. It was to and fro, and I'm sure this game will be very similar. And we're looking forward to it. It's a cup game. Anything can happen in a cup game.
The magic of the Challenge Cup. Steve Tinistry at Halifax. What would it mean for the fans to get home draw in the next round against one of the big boys?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. I'm sure it would be for Featherstone as well. I think the competition's it's an iconic competition within Rugby League. It's one that Halifax and Featherstone have got some tradition within that. So for both clubs, it would be fantastic to progress into the next round. For us, we just got to concentrate on doing the basics well tonight, and enjoying it. I think more than anything, we've got a good young team out there, and looking forward to it.
Mark, it's been a great season so far. The Challenge Cup's a magic competition. What would it mean for the club to get through this round?
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, this club's steeped in history with Challenge Cup, so to get through to the next round, and when you look at teams, what's probably going to be in the next round, and God, it'd be great. It'd be absolutely fantastic. We're in that draw next week.
So far this season, it's been a very positive season. In the top 4, it's where you need to be. Are you confident of getting into those middle eights and performing better than you did last year? Is it an improved squad you've got?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot better balanced squad. I think in key positions we strengthened really well in off-season. We've been a bit more fortunate. There's dual reg with Leeds this year as well. We've been able to call down a few players, and it's helped us rest a couple of players at key times when they're carrying injuries. So yeah, we're in a lot better shape. But we're still to get that top 4, and there's some good teams. There's London are looking good. Halifax are looking good. Toulouse are looking really good. So yeah, it's all every week's like a cup tie.
Been in a bit of a good run of form yourself and the team. You're looking to get your own back on Fev after early on in the season, pal.
Yeah, it's always a massive game against Fev. They pipped us at our place earlier on in the season, so we'll be looking for a bit of revenge tonight. Yeah.
What I love about the Challenge Cup is how it celebrates heritage, because it's 120 years old this year. There's been some great performances on the pitch, but also we've got to remember the men in the middle. Who were the men in the middle you looked up to, maybe in Challenge Cups gone by, who really inspired you as a referee?
Well, when I'm coming through, the likes of Stuart Cummins, Russell Smith, we're doing the Challenge Cup finals, but before them, you look at the likes of John Holsworth and Billy Thompson and Fred Lindop, who've done numerous finals, which was not seen of then. And then obviously Ganson and Richard Silver have gone on in the last 10 years and shown how they can do it. And it is, like you say, refereeing at Wembley is completely different to any other game. It is the nostalgia, everything around it, the showpiece, the carnival-like atmosphere. It is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, the club superstar with Jasmine Hollingwood, a real little star down here. Jazz, how are you?
Good, thank you. Are you?
I'm not too bad. I love being down at Fev. You've got a very special shirt here. Malcolm Dixon's 67 shirt. Must mean a lot to the club.
It does. It means a lot to the club. He's on the front cover of our programme.
There it is, the capper.
Here, the capper, the flat capper.
Have you got your own flat cap?
No, I haven't. My dad's got one and my sister's got one. She's wearing it today.
Absolutely outstanding. Tell me a little bit about, obviously, the club's in a good place, winning a lot of games. Are you confident this year, maybe getting a bit higher up?
Very confident, yes.
Who's your favourite player?
Ian Hardman.
Is he really?
Family.
Keeping it in the family.
Yes.
Also, Summer Bash coming up.
Yep.
You play London.
We do.
That, would you say, the biggest day out for Championship fans?
It is. It's a great weekend if you're going.
What's always good down here at Featherstone is the crazy fans, and they've got a brand new squad to cheer for 2017. I mean, Lawrence, tell us a little bit about what's going on with all these new pom-poms, new uniforms.
Okay, so it's been very, very exciting season. This brand new squad started in January. We've got brand new girls, and it's so exciting because the fans are behind us, and we're just doing amazing stuff.
It looked great, the routine you've done. You've got the pit podium behind you as well. Percy's in the mix. It seems like a really good place for Featherstone at the moment. New management team, new players. Is the club really going somewhere?
Yeah, we've seen vast improvements over just a number of months. So we're super excited, and we can't wait to finish this season, also next season as well.
Well, tell me a little bit about Bash as well, because Bash is coming up, Magic Weekend. You'll be dancing there with the Rockettes. 2 huge days out. Is it as good for you guys dancing as it is for the fans?
Yeah, we absolutely love it. It's such a friendly atmosphere. Everyone gets on. Us girls, we absolutely love dancing there, as well as Summer Bash and then Magic straight after. It's just...
Well, I'm hosting this year down at Summer Bash, and if you would like to win tickets for either Magic or Summer Bash, go to rugbyam.co.uk right now, check it out, and you could be joining us lot at Summer Bash. Girls, you gonna make some noise for it?
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
The atmosphere is building here at Featherstone Rovers. The Halifax boys going out onto the pitch right now. It's time to go over and see my partner in crime, Jamie Jones Buchanan, who's meeting some real legends of the game from 1957 and 1977 Cup finals. Check this out.
It's 60 years since Leeds won the 1957 Challenge Cup final against Barrow, and it's also 40 years since Leeds won the 1977 final against Widnes. Now we're going to go in, we're going to catch up with some real legends of the game, people like Jim Mills, George Broughton, who's got an amazing family history. But first we're going to hear from the Aussie who was the captain of the Leeds team back in 57, Keith McLennan.
Well, the day of the final was a bit overwhelming, because when you walk out onto the ground there's a huge roar and you're surrounded, I think there are about 85,000 faces, and you feel rather insignificant. But after we shook hands and the whistle blew, you forget all about that. You forget where you are, although the ground was very lush and was a bit heavy to run on, and you had to adjust to getting started and not slipping over. But we felt fairly confident about it because we'd had a good run. Most of the games had been hard, and I think we were battle hardened, and that set us up for a good final.
I played on the left wing for Leeds in the Rugby League Cup final at Wembley in 1957. We managed to win that game with a very narrow decision, which I can't remember exactly, but it was an excellent game, tight from both ends. I think we managed 9-7 or something like that. I remember it by a remarkable try from my colleague Delmas Hodgkinson, who was 18 at the time and scored the most wonderful try, coming inside and passing Joe Ball, the Barra fullback, to score.
Played for Widnes in the 1977 Challenge Cup final against Leeds. Should be wearing a black tie because we lost. But then they say the best team always wins, and I think Leeds were the best side on that day. I remember Les Dill going past me on the blind side. Not many players did that, and I thought, God, he's quick, and he was. So I wouldn't be the happiest man. It's never a nice place to lose, Wembley, you know. But then, like, I've won there quite a few times. So you have to say the good with the bad, you know. I was talking to the coach after, and he said, you can hold your head up. I said, Frank, nobody can hold their head up. We've got beat, you know. I said, I hate losing. I said, we've got beat.
Looking back at it, obviously we got beat, and but on the day I think we were favourites, and because earlier in the year we'd beaten Leeds at Leeds quite convincingly. So but Wembley's always a one-off game, and Leeds played very well that day, and you know, they just they were the better team on the day.
Wembley is Wembley. It's one of those things that you It's the pinnacle of any player's career to play there. I had the luxury of playing for 5 times there. I was chuffed to bits to be doing it, and when I did it again for Widnes, I was pushing a good 30 plus.
In the game we played Barrow Inverness, who had been at Wembley before for 2 seasons, and they'd won 1 and lost 1, so they had Wembley experience, which we didn't. The score in the game, we won 9-7, but we scored 3 tries to their 1, which is convincing, but they kicked 2 penalties and kept in touch with us. And unfortunately, Lou, our goal kicker, didn't kick a goal that day. I think the first time he's ever not kicked a goal in a game. But we managed to hold on with our 3 tries and won 9-7.
And Vince Cornelius, who lived in our street, or our road was it then, I used to try and match strides with him, and I'd be telling him I'm going to lift the cup, because I'd seen him lift it, you know. So I was there in 1970 as captain of Wigan. We lost that one. And then was there in 74 against Warrington. I was captain then, and we won that one. And then we lost 2 to St Helens and Leeds in the run. So like I think the Leeds was the second one. I think St Helens beat us first. The final before. So we were going to Wembley at that time on a pretty regular basis. But still, it's never a nice place to lose. And we drew 1 year with Hull, and that's even worse. Because at least if you lose, you go out and drown your sorrows, and if you win, you celebrate. When you have a draw, everybody's looking at one another, thinking, what's going on here, like, you know.
Well, definitely in my day, it was Challenge Cup was everything. Being picked for Great Britain and the Challenge Cup, I think they're the 2 biggest things any rugby player really wants to do in them days. So, if you get to Wembley, because there's some great players never ever played at Wembley, so you need to be in a good side to get there. And fortunately, I've been there a few times, and it's a wonderful experience if you play rugby.
In 1974 with Widnes, we hadn't been since 1930, and the atmosphere in the town and on the way home and everything was absolutely brilliant. And when I lifted the cup for the first time, well, the only time really, I remember thinking, well, I've done it. And then all of a sudden, this like a great force grabbed the cup up in the air, and I'm like a little kid with this cup in the air, you know. So they're my fond memories.
My favourite memory is the first time I ever played at Wembley was the semi-final, which was at Headingley, against Wakefield Trinity. And we were big underdogs, 1965. Big underdogs, but we turned it and won. Not easily, but we won. And it was first trip to Wembley as a pro, so it was great. We lost, but it was great.
I remember getting there and going in the hotel and having a walk around Wembley the day before the match, and felt the atmosphere building up, and then the day comes and you're there in the dressing room, and we were all quite relaxed, and off we went, and the big build-up outside, and it was a great game.
Dad was quite a good player, and the funny thing is he played in the same position as what I played, which was left wing. He had about 14 seasons at Hunslet, and so for his son to come away with a winner's medal similar to what he has and playing in the same position, and also, I don't know whether I should mention this, but also my nephew did exactly the same thing in the 60s or 70s, I think, and his name was John Atkinson. And he also got a winner's medal and played in the same position. So it was father, son and grandson, all with winners' medals, all played in the same position on the left wing at Wembley.
They tend to think that winning the the League Leaders Shield and going to Old Trafford is a better thing than going to Wembley. But it's still beyond the same. I won't miss a memory, you know. If I'm abroad, I always find somewhere to watch the match, you know. If I've got to bribe somebody, because it's football everywhere you go in Europe, you know. Football comes first. I say, well, put that one over there and I'll give you a few bob and let me watch it, you know.
We were leading 7-2. There were 2 incidents that turned the game, both against Widnes, and John Atkinson scored a try and Les Dill scored a try, and it knocked us sideways, did that.
Well, I remember my first Challenge Cup. It was a local derby for us in 1975. We played Warrington, and Warrington had been there the year before and beat Featherstone Rovers quite convincingly. And they were red-hot favourites against us that day at Widnes. And we kicked off, and all very tense that day because it was our first Wembley for most of us. And I remember after about first 10 minutes, John Bevan, they kicked through and John Bevan came off the wing for Warrington and scored near our post. So it was a terrible start. Anyhow, we slowly got our way back, and luckily I scored a try just before half-time to even things up, and we went in at half-time winning. And we eventually won the game. A great game it was, that game. And we eventually won 14-7. And I always remember Alec Murphy, who was coach of Warrington, and Vince Corrales was our coach, and none of them had ever lost at Wembley. So one of them were going to lose their title. And thankfully it was Alex Murphy. And he said, if we don't win, I'll jump off Runcorn Bridge. But he hasn't jumped off yet. We're still waiting for him.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry.
A few weeks ago we started the Hard As Bales feature. We saw Andy Lynch doing it with Wagger Wayne Godwin last week, a few weeks ago, and now we've got an extra special version of Hard As Bales with 2 guys who battled it out in the 1977 Challenge Cup final and have been best mates or really good friends ever since, as you do in the world of rugby league. And I want to sit with these 2 guys and find out who the toughest guys were in rugby league during the 70s. Now, this is a period when you weren't allowed off the pitch until you'd had a scrap. This is when you had to really be hard. This is when the biff really did mean something, because it's a massive part of the game. And we've got on the back of what looks like a scrappy bit of piece of paper, the top 5 of Big Jim Mills here, Widnes legend, and Roy Dickinson, Leeds legend, and Stanley Lane Bramley, and all the rest of it you've seen Roy before. Now, we're going to start with you, Jim. At number 5, we've got the man sat next to me here, Roy Dickinson. Tell me about Roy when he was a young lad.
Yeah, well, I remember playing at Leeds and Roy coming. He was a young lad just coming into the game, and he was a real handful that day, and I thought to myself, it's time to retire from this game. These young bucks coming through. But I've always admired Roy. I've watched him over the years and played the game. Well, I played that game at Wembley, and he was a tough, hard forward, but a quality forward as well.
When you found or came across a new young lad like that, was it important to put them on a short leash, just let them know which environment they were coming in straight away?
Yeah, well, you got to let them know who's the boss on that day, but that's what I say. You could see he was going to develop into a big, strong man, and I thought, I'll give it a few more years and I'll retire.
Good man. And on your number 5, somebody who I've come across, been coached by him a lot of years ago, and he's very tough, a Castleford icon, Mal Reilly. Tell me a bit about Mal, Roy.
Well, Malcolm Reilly, one of the best players I've ever seen in my life, actually, and I remember Malcolm as a youngster. Malcolm will be about nearly 10 years older than me. I hope he don't mind me saying this. But I watched him as a youngster, and I remember him going to Australia, and everybody in Australia was going to kill him, and he reversed the tables, actually, and he knocked 7 bells out of everybody else, and he was a target at the time. And Malcolm, a fantastic player, fantastic ambassador for rugby league, a great coach as well, and he's number 5 on my hit list of tough men.
Mate, I've heard that he still does a little bit now. When he gets out, gets confrontational, and he will not back down to anybody. No matter how old you are.
Malcolm's always been a physical guy, and he still thinks he's about 28 years old.
Did you have to let him win?
Of course, you got to let him win. I'm not going to want to tell him no.
Now, at number 4, for you, Roy, we've got Graham Eccles. Tell me a bit about
Yeah, Graham Eccles, one of my Leeds teammates for donkey's years here. Played at Leeds about 12 years, did Graham, and pound for pound, maybe the toughest, strongest, hardest man I've ever played with or played against. And the big fella at the side of me will tell you that, because he once said to me, we had a do once, and he says, "Who was that little so-and-so that played in the second row with you?" I said, he was like a Jack Russell. I said, "Oh, Graham Eccles." He said, "That's him." He said, "I used to look for him and run the other side of the play the ball." He said, "He was a beast." So that tells you how tough he was. He was brave.
Was he a speed bump? Was he always chipping you up?
Yeah, he was full of vigour, old Graham, and you always knew when he was on the field, you know, because you get these little hard ones that sometimes they're tougher than the big hard ones. So you know, he was a real handful, Graham. Great player, nice lad.
Now, number 4 for you, Jim, is a guy called John O'Neill.
John O'Neill, yeah, he was a great forward. Sadly, died a few years back. He was playing for South Sydney when I was playing for North Sydney, and I played against him for Great Britain against Australia. And he was a great running forward, strong, very talented, and you know, you always had a tough game with him, and I had a lot of respect for John, and he was a lovely lad off the field.
Yeah. And at number 3 for you was Tony Fisher. Bradford, Leeds, Cass, tell us what Tony was like.
Well, Tony, teammate of Jim's in Wales. Tony's maybe one of the craziest men I've ever met in my life. I played with him, I played against him, and I worked with him, and nothing was easy. If I can say this on TV, it's totally crackers, but I hope he won't mind, because he's a great friend of mine, was Tony. And rumour has it that Tony was born in May 1945, and 2 weeks later the Germans surrendered. So I think that tells you something about how tough Tony was.
What is it about you Welsh boys? I mean, I wouldn't like to play against you now, Jim, to be honest with you. It's easy your hands. But you Welsh boys have got it in you, haven't you, to have a bit of a fight in you?
Oh yeah, Tony, was talking about Tony Fisher. I was the only one who'd room with him on tour, you know. Nobody else would go with him. And I had to fight him every night before they go to bed. And you think you'd got him beat, and you'd tuck him back in bed and say, "Don't give it away, Tony." And he'd wake up in the middle of the night and give you another smack. So he was deadly, Tony, but a great hooker, very fiercely competitive. And I don't think the Australians liked playing against him, and nobody liked playing against him. He was a bit, as Roy says, a bit crazy.
Brilliant. Yeah. Number 3 for you, Jim, Frank Foster. Tell me about Frank Foster.
Oh, Frank was I think all the lads that played rugby league in his era will say that Frank was a tough lad. He was a wonderful person for using the elbow. He was an expert. And I remember one day we were playing, I think Doncaster, and the hooker come across and flew at Frank, and Frank just lifted. It was perfect timing. I've never seen timing like it. And he lifted his elbow, and next minute the hooker was spitting teeth out and lumps of blood. And I said, "Frank, we're winning by 30 points. I said, "What do you do that for?" He said, "It's like cracking nuts."
I think the elbow back in your day, Roy, is it a bit like as important as the ball? It was just an extension of your body, wasn't it? Something you were going to use in the game.
It was a weapon that was well used, actually. Not for all the best things, but just one of them things that happened. You know, everybody got put out by an elbow. I don't know any player that's ever been hit by an elbow, to be honest. You know, it's just that's how it went. You know, knee and elbow, a bony shoulder, especially in Cumbria. You know, they had 3 elbows. I don't know.
Well, one of the toughest places I've ever been. I remember going to Boulevard and places like all. They're always tough down there. And in number 2, second spot for you, we've got big Mick Harrison, Hull and Leeds. So you know a lot about him. Just tell us what he used to get up to on pitch.
Oh, Mick Harrison, one of my heroes, was Big Mick. I was lucky enough to never play against him, to be honest. But I played with him here, and he looked after me as a youngster, and he brought me through the game. I was going to take over his position, which I eventually did, and you know, Mick helped me through everything, and he understood that a young lad was going to come through, and he showed me so many tricks and of the trade and everything else. But he was the strongest man, and Jim will maybe back me up, he's the strongest man I've ever met in my life. Just naturally strong man, and nobody could handle Mick Harrison. Nobody ever touched him.
And at your number 2, Cliff Watson.
Well, Cliff, another very, very strong man, tremendously strong. I always remember him playing in the first test when they won the Ashes in Australia in 1970. And the first test, the Australians really got stuck into Great Britain, and they give Great Britain a good hiding that day, but halfway through the game I remember Morgan, the Australian prop, decided to give Cliff the Liverpool kiss. And unfortunately what he didn't realise was that he was a lot better than him giving the Liverpool kiss. So he got one back, and his nose was round the back of his head. And Cliff said after the game, he said, if you're gonna do that, do it properly. And he said, I've given him a lesson today and showed him how to do it. But he was I played against him a few times. He was very strong. Played for Great Britain. I don't know, it must be one of the records for a prop forward. And a great player. He lives in Australia now, and great player.
Outstanding. I could sit and listen to this all day. And I want to jump to your number one. And that's Arthur Beetson.
Arthur, I used to love old Arthur. I always remember when I signed for North Sydney, he was playing for Balmain. And the first game I was at the North Sydney Oval, and he came up, had a good chat to him. I thought, well, what a nice lad. I should never have thought that, because we played a few weeks later, and I seen the other side of him. But he was a great forward. I had many skirmishes with Arthur. We enjoyed a good scrap, but he was a great footballer. Very difficult to bring down. He had this big backside. He turned his backside on you, and by the time you got your arms around him, the ball was gone. He was a great footballer. He played for LKR. I think he learned a lot of his football at LKR. He was a great all-round footballer, and he is a legend in Australia, and rightly so. I'd say him and John O'Neill in Australia were the two best props I played against. And Arthur, if you say a prop forward had it all, Arthur had it all. He was a great player, all-round player. Yeah, great.
Brilliant. And the big drum roll, the number one for Roy Dickinson. Before we go in and celebrate the 1957 and 77 Challenge Cup finals upstairs with the Barrow, Leeds and Widnes players, you want you to give us who your number one is, because I don't think he's sat too far away, Roy. It is, of course, the big Jim Mills.
Yes, Big Jim Mills was my first hero, one of my first heroes watching the game as a kid, when we used to play in the playground. I was always Big Jim Mills, and I used to smash everybody around the head and all this, and I used to get away with it, Jim didn't get away with it as much as I did in the playground, but I always wanted to be Big Jim Mills, and I was so lucky to play against him. And Jim used to knock me from pillar to post, to be honest, as a youngster. And it might sound daft now, but it was a pleasure, because there's not many people in my school have been thumped by Big Jim Mills. So I was happy, and maybe that's why I was a good prop.
Brilliant. You've heard it from the best. 1970s. These are the tough guys.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Post-match here, a tough defeat tonight for you, Scotty. What happened tonight, mate?
Just too fast for us.
Yeah.
Couldn't slow them down. Quality side, Featherstone. All credit to him, and good luck in next round.
Mate, obviously going into the rest of the season, you had 6 unbalanced in league. The confidence is still high. I thought you performed very well tonight as a team, just a little bit short. Going into Summer Bash, it's a great day for the championship.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we didn't perform where we wanted to be, where we've been playing the last few weeks. We let us sends down tonight, but that's gone now, and we look forward to the rest of the season in the championship.
Mate, I reckon the top 4's got to be the goal, hasn't it? You're looking good for it.
It's everybody's goal, isn't it? Yeah, but we're gonna week in, week out, got to look at that performance, and that tonight wasn't good enough, and we'll look at it on Tuesday when we go back training and write that off and get ready for the next game.
Scotty Turner, the sort of Fev. How you doing, lad?
All right, not bad.
Buzzing after that.
Yeah, a good win, good performance by boys.
Yeah, mate, absolutely outstanding to go into that next round. The Challenge Cup's a really special tournament. Obviously, it means so much to the fans. The fans are in fine voice tonight.
Yeah, fans are always like that. I mean, we get a good following at home and away. It's like great. I love playing in front of them.
Mate, absolutely outstanding tries as well to that. Talk us through, mate. Finding your meat
first one
pies.
was just a bit of a catch and dive, and then second one was a bit similar. I didn't actually know if I scored it or not. I know it was about 50-50, but I'll take it.
Man of the match performance, outstanding. Shows you bottle, lad.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Is he going to go to the missus tonight, or is he keeping it for the boys?
She's pregnant. She's 3 weeks to go, so yeah, it's we save it for some celebrations with the boys, I think.
Boy or girl?
A boy, second one.
Yes! You like what? Yes!
Another little chinny.
Have you got any names?
My missus might have, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey! It's the first thing he's done tonight all night, Keil Carlisle.
Yeah.
Mate, it must mean a lot to be back in that draw now.
Yeah.
For the big boys could be coming to Fev.
Yeah, that's right. We'll give ourselves the best opportunity, and if we get 50-50 share of the ball, and we all we try and do is compete, and we've got good foundations and stuff, and if we stick to them, then we've got a chance against anyone.
Mate, it's an improving side. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every day in training, we're working to get better and better, and you have the odd slip up here and there, but yeah, we're moving in the right direction.
Mate, the fans were great tonight. A little word for the fans.
Outstanding. We knew obviously a Thursday night. We really appreciate the support, and they came out in the numbers. Credit to them.
They say winners are grinners, mate, and you always got a big smile on your face, mate. But tonight must have been extra special for you.
Yeah, it was. We knew it was going to be a tough game. Last 2 weeks we've been building to this game. Right, when you play Halifax, it's always like they turn up no matter what. So we got the win. It was a tough one, but we've got the weekend off, so it's a good weekend off, and just to prepare for next week.
Weekend with the family. You gonna be chilling out?
Yeah, definitely. Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like to explore England?
Yes, I do. My missus loves Cornwall. It's my first time going there, but the weather doesn't look real good for this weekend. But I'll get out there somehow.
Absolutely outstanding. Tell me a little bit about the team spirit amongst the Fev boys. You've got a lot of dual redshirt with Leeds. They come in and out of the team. Obviously, they can't play tonight because they'll be cup tied, but it doesn't really matter because you've got a deep squad and you've got some great players in there, haven't you?
Yeah, this year, we've brought some good players and got a bit of depth this year compared to last year. We had a few injuries, and with the Leeds boys coming in, they always buy into it. So whether they come in, the standards are always high, and they just buy into everything we do. But credit to the coaches and the main staff up here, getting the right players at the club and with the right attitude. You can have good players, but it's players with the right attitude that you want. So yeah. Sorry about that, but it's you can't speak for it like itself here. It's good. We got the boys out there training now, and we got Mariano, Briggsy, some good players out there that coming back in. So good depth.
Mate, it's going to be a great end to the season. Top four, middle eight. It's all on. It's an exciting time, and it's a good time to be a Fev fan, isn't it?
It is. This club's run by the community itself, and you can tell by today's game. We get a lot of response from as a team with this community. It's a tight knit. It's probably one of the best probably the best I've played at since I've been here.
Mate, outstanding. I want to leave you now to see your family. Thank you very much, mate. Top
Cheers.
man.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
UK Red Fire and Security fan cam outside the ground. What's your name, pal?
Andy.
Mate, great night for Fev. You excited?
Over the moon, mate.
Over the moon.
Can't stomach them blown white rubbish from over the hill. They never turn up here, but we've heard out mouth. We've given them one, haven't we?
Tell us a little about John Sharp. He's building a good squad, isn't he?
A very good squad. A very good squad. It'll not match 67 up to now.
I was going to ask you, because tonight I had the match ball from 67 in my hand, Malcolm Dixon's ball on his shirt. Tell us a little bit about that time. Were you there at the game?
Yes.
What was it like? What were the tell me for the semi-final.
5 bob foot ticket and 7 and 6 foot bus.
What's your name, pal?
Harrison.
Mate, tell me a bit about tonight. Who were the old man of the match?
Mr. Talapapa.
Is he your favourite player?
No.
Who's your favourite?
Ian Hardman.
Ian Hardman. He's a good player and he's getting older now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say he's nearly over ill?
No.
No. But are you a happy Fev fan tonight?
I'm happy. I'll be even happy if we get Cassick next round.
Would that? How much would that mean to the people of Fev?
Top number one. If we're playing well, we want to play Cass all the time.
Who do you reckon? Give me a name for Challenge Cup this year. Who's going to win Challenge Cup?
Wigan.
Wigan. It's a big call. Not Fev.
We're going to win Challenge Cup.
Not
right?
Fev.
No. Fev.
I thought you were a proper fan.
Right, hang on. How can you, right? Wigan got beat by Wakefield last year by 6 points, whatever.
62.
Well, 6-2, M62, whatever. Yeah?
62.
Well, 6-2, M62, whatever. Yeah? It's still, but how can you say that Wigan got beat by Cass last week by God knows how many
54
points? Wigan are going to turn it over.
Do you reckon? Wigan are going to. You've heard it here first. Wigan are doing it this year.
Wigan will win the grand final, right? And we will have Wakefield next round.
Wakefield in the cup. Wigan in the grand final.
And Cass are going out.
Cass are going out. You've heard it. Who's next? Mate, happy Fev fan tonight.
Yeah.
What do you reckon for the next round? I want you to all pick what team Fev are going to get in next round.
Wakefield.
Wakefield.
Cass Tigers. Cass.
But will the win? Will Fev win?
Yeah!
Oh, absolutely outstanding tonight. If you were in changing room now, what would you be saying to the boys?
Kill Carlisle's magic.
Kill Carlisle's magic. Is he best player, do you reckon?
Is my boyfriend's dad.
Is your boyfriend's dad? 1 second. 1 second. What's your name?
Lucy.
Lucy. How old are you?
10.
And who's your boyfriend?
Jack Carlisle.
Jack Cat. Oh, he's got to be better looking than his dad, hasn't he?
No, we actually ain't.
Oh my days! Wow!
No, I'm joking. Nah, I can't say that because he's probably watching it. Sorry.
Probably won't watch this. Jack, you might be broken-hearted because your dad's a good sort. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, guys. Thank you very much. That is over and out from UK Road Security Fancom right here in Fev.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry.